VigilanteWilliamson here with a very simple question, and that is, what is the fallout after Francis Ngannou lost a very close decision to Tyson Fury, but won in all of our hearts? You know, they say moral victories don't exist in pro sports, but I disagree with this fight. Now, granted, I have not gone back to score the fight round by round to see if technically maybe Fury edged it out, because that's kind of not the point. What's more impressive is a guy who, against all odds, to even get into the UFC, if you know his story about traveling and being, I think, stuck in, was it France for a long time or Spain, and it took him forever. You know, he was a homeless guy at a certain point over in Europe, and made his way to training in MMA to become world champion in MMA. Then got into his dispute with Dana White, and you know, a lot of people, it's funny, there's a lot of people who are quote unquote MMA fans who are kind of celebrating this win, who 12 months ago looked down on Francis because he was ducking John Jones, and he defied all the odds to get an exhibition with the world heavyweight champion. And not only does he score a knockdown, in most people's eyes he won. I kind of still think he won, but like I said, I haven't gone back to score it. Maybe I'll say, oh, maybe Fury edged it out, but still, if nothing else, he's won just showing like what you can do if you're determined. Because a lot of people thought that he had no chance. I am one of those people. I'm not gonna lie and hide from it. And so now, where does boxing go? Where does he go? I hear there's now a rumor that he might fight Deontay Wilder, which I would love. He's now a top tier boxer. I mean, honestly, I want to see it. If you're going to give him a shot, I think all his fights need to be pro fights. No more exhibition, even though I'm not sure if this is considered an exhibition or a pro fight with non-title fight. I believe it's on the box rack. Where does Fury go? A lot of people are not excited about the Fury Usyk fight because they look now at Fury as an inferior champ. I think Fury learned, hey, you do have to train. And how much of an impact will that be? You know, when Francis goes up, because inevitably somebody's going to fight Francis. That's not Fury. How much impact is that going to happen when now they know to train their fucking hardest and come in at their best? How much success won't Francis have, because he won't be as much of a surprise? Even though there's no excuse for this. No excuse for Fury coming in overweight, coming in out of shape, coming in kind of apathetic towards winning. It's very Rocky 3-esque. Rocky 3 versus Thunderlips, aka Hulk Hogan. But in this case, this was a real boxing match, and Ngannou trained his ass off. Shout out to Mike Tyson. Shout out to his other trainer. Shout out to everybody in that camp. Incredible fight. But what happens next? What do I think? I think Fury and Usyk eventually goes on, you know, in the next few months whenever it's scheduled. But it has a lot less hype amongst it. I think somebody else fights Ngannou, maybe Deontay Wilder, maybe AJ. And what I hope is that people get the stick out of their ass. Boxing's not looking good, man. Showtime Boxing has left. This is now the second large U.S. boxing provider that's went away. We saw HBO go away, 2019? So in 4 years, we've lost the two biggest boxing providers here in the U.S. And the heavyweight champion is losing exhibition fights and having to kind of rig exhibition fights, because even somebody had a card that said Tyson Fury lost that fight. So even with how it played out, there was a card that said Tyson Fury lost that fight. Amazing stuff. But, you know, boxing looks kind of like it should, man. You get what you fucking deserve. Listen, man, for years and years and years, you know, post Mayweather, there's all this posturing. We don't get the fights that we want hardly. Even though this year was a good year. This year was, you know, better than most years by a long shot. Make no mistake. With Inoue and Fulton, and of course Crawford and Spence, Tank and Ryan. We got a lot of fights. Loma and Haney. How big was that fight? We got a lot of fights this year. And of course, now we have to add to that the Ngannou and Fury, a fight that we thought was just a Mickey Mouse fight. It wasn't. Even in a good year, we're still seeing the remnants of boxers and fighters not fighting each other like they should, and guys ducking fights, and guys don't want to fight each other, and then maybe you can get a guy to go out once or twice a year. And this is what boxing's been, and you keep starving the boxing fan. You keep starving that hardcore boxing fan. Meanwhile, you had the Misfits, you had Logan Paul, Jake Paul. Tommy Fury is making more money fighting, you know, YouTubers than he probably would make fighting boxing at this point, because he wasn't that high level of a boxer. And now his big brother, Tyson Fury, has inadvertently blown open the gates. Now, you know, a lot of people were saying, oh, do we need to see these boxing MMA crossovers? We know what's going to happen, yawn. Now we don't. Now we do need to see if Terrence Crawford and Sugar Shane can fight. Now we do need to see if Canelo and, you know, Sean Strickland or somebody, I don't know. Will Canelo and Sean Strickland work? Maybe Sean is too big, I'm not sure. But now we do need to see these fights. We need to see these guys cross over a little bit more. What's the UFC response going to be? They lost out on a potential star by being so hardball against the Ngannou. Are they going to start letting their guys fight now? Now that they see there's a chance they might actually win? Because now PFL has a huge chance to make some headway with the Ngannou star power after that performance. And if they can get him a solid opponent for his first few fights there, or solid opponents, they're going to make some money, and they're going to make some inroads into the MMA market here. This is something, ironically enough, a lot of boxing pundits have predicted and said, hey, you know, you're doing good now, MMA, because there's only one UFC. You don't have the same WBC, WBO, you know, IBF situation. But you will one day, you know what I mean? You will have multiple fight promotions and multiple promoters. You haven't had that yet. You know, the red tape that we get, the politics we get in boxing, but one day you will. And who knows, will this lead to the PFL, because of Francis Ngannou star power, getting a little bit more inroads into the MMA market? Maybe, maybe not. But we're definitely going to see more crossover fights. As far as the fighters themselves, we're going to see Francis in more boxing matches. We might see a rematch. I'm not sure if they'll do a rematch before Usyk. I'm not sure, you know. That might be the wrong thing to do for Fury, because he might get knocked out completely if you give Francis another chance. So you might be better off going to fight Usyk. And there's another thing. What happens if Tyson Fury beats Usyk after this? What if he goes in next fight and just beats the hell out of Usyk? What would that say about boxing? That might make it worse, right? So we're in a very weird position, weird spot with boxing and all the combat sports. So I can't wait to see what happens next. What do you guys think? If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share, subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.